Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 22nd of February. So as we start off this new week, we've got some good news out from the UK, with the British government expected to release plans to ease the lockdown and open up the wider economy, and this of course on the back of a successful rollout of the vaccine and also the reduction in virus numbers over sort of recent weeks. Now, the Great British Pound has been seen strength since the beginning of the year, and we see that strength sort of continuing, particularly with the opening up of the wider economy. Now, that's actually taking place across many other parts of the world as well, but it's just the UK just seems to be slightly ahead of the curve across compared to a number of other sort of major nations. So, with the broader spectrum of lockdowns easing and wider economies opening back up, we might expect to start to see some rotations in the major stock indices, particularly as the funds start to readjust for a different type of economic activity as the wider economy opens. So before we take a look at the markets, I just want to remind you of Wednesday's live trading session. So we're going to take a look at the markets live on YouTube. You can join our live stream using the link below the video here, and more details about that later on. If we have a look at the markets now and take a look at the Dow first of all. The Dow, as indeed like the Nasdaq and the S&Ps, they are starting to see some signs of weakness. If we have a look at these from the wider time frame perspective and the weekly time frame, you can see that some sort of retracement here, not necessarily a trend change, but some sort of retracement does look well overdue, and even a pullback into areas of fair value could see a few hundred to maybe even a sort of 1,000 points off the current sort of prices. If we have a look at this on the 4-hour time frame, we can start to see the rollover here, and we've got sort of lower highs forming now on the mid time frames as well as lower lows. So this supported of course with weaker momentum coming into the markets as well. So again, looking at price action, we're in between this trading window now of 31,300 down to 31,115. Below 31,115 we've got the 31,000, and then down to the 30,900. So I wouldn't be at all surprised to sort of see some pressure here in the US stock indices, and particularly of course until we start to hear some positive news from when we're going to get that stimulus package, or when these markets are going to get this stimulus package from the US that they've been eagerly waiting for. Now I believe that's likely to have a vote on that on Friday of this week, so could be some development on that, but certainly any positive news on stimulus is likely to turn the tide on these markets. So that in tow is likely to keep any sort of downside momentum rather contained, maybe within a week or so. So that's the sort of timeline that we're looking at. Now if we come over to precious metals, particularly markets like sort of gold, these have started to see quite a bit of pressure over recent sort of weeks and months, and you can see that we've got sort of lower highs and lower lows forming here. I think that the pressure that we're starting to see at the moment in the markets may be a sort of the weakness in the index markets. If we see that continued weakness, we could sort of see some short-term strength coming back in here in the metals as well. Now gold has got a long way to go to change the trend structure here, but we could start to see some easy moves here, possibly up to 1.8, maybe up to 1.826 on the short side here, and then certainly at these key points would certainly be looking at potential sort of weakness, or waiting to see if there is a weak signal coming back in. But intraday opportunities long on the metals is certainly something that we're looking at. Gold up to those trading points. Silver, still for us on silver, it's getting above that 27.76 to 28,000 price point, and silver again looking rather supportive. Again, even though that gold has been rolling over into a downtrend, silver has failed to follow suit. Even when the chips have been against silver, we've had spikes and tests to the short side and then complete rejections to the long side. So again, this just indicates that there is the underlying strength still within the silver market compared to gold. So if we come over to the currency markets, well, some of the markets here that we're keeping an eye on, of course, all relating to the dollar. We've got dollar strength at the moment, and again, that's whilst the dollar is above that key 90 level, then we're likely to see some continued strength across the board. So dollar related markets long. So dollar yen at the moment has got strengths and weaknesses supporting this to the long side. You can see that we've got this trading window up to around 106, so from 105.60 up to around 106. So that's the initial trading window that we have at the moment to the long side. Again, broader picture here, the daily time frame looking nice into a nice long trend, and the higher time frames from that starting to follow suit as well. Likewise, we're also liking the look here of Great British Pound, and we mentioned Great British Pound earlier, but again, you can see that the trend structures on cable here looking rather supportive, certainly above that 140 level here. So looking for, again, intraday opportunities long on sterling related markets. So cable, the yen here also looking sort of rather nice, and also the sort of, well, in fact, the whole suite of Great British Pound markets. So things like the Swissy here, we do need to see some sort of retracement before we get any sort of entry opportunities on them. They're already having some very good moves already. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on in the trading room coming into the beginning of this week. I certainly hope it helps, and look forward to speaking to you on Wednesday. Bye for now.